that was a great start of our today's umbraCoffee episode number 116. I needed to check it because I can't remember the names. We are here as usual, and we are joined today by Jesper. I wanted to say straight from the HQ, but due to all the circumstances, most of us are working remotely, and you, Jesper, too. Hi. How are you, by the way?
Hello. Well, thank you for having me on here. Yeah, as you say, HQ is shut down right now. Everyone is working from home. So yeah, but working with tech, we're pretty lucky. We can just do that. So yeah.
We were talking a lot internally and externally that for IT departments and IT teams, it's not so hard to switch to work remotely, and it's all possible nowadays. And having our meetings like that, having some other chats organized virtually, it's making it less problematic. But the whole situation is getting worse and worse, and we can maybe talk about it as well, because we are all affected by that. I'm partially quarantined right now as well, because one of the children in my daughter's kindergarten were contacted with someone with the virus itself. But events and everything across the globe is right now being shut down, and our biggest and most awaited event, Code Garden 2020, is also cancelled right now.
Yes.
Guys, anything around you as well? Probably it's the same everywhere. It's not about only Umbraco community, it's about everything right now. Callum, you've been traveling a lot across all of the meetups recently. How it is in the local meetups groups?
This week I had my tour de North. So this was I was going around the three northern Umbraco meetups: Leeds, Liverpool, and Manchester, and it was good. We still had some decent turnout at these events. I guess as well, people were still being cautious, making sure, make sure, and no one's coughing or sneezing anywhere. But it was okay. I think maybe the community was a little bit suppressed because, of course, people are a little bit worried, and that's kind of normal. But this is probably my last travel for God knows. Going to be months.
We were all attending Umbraco Spark last week. By the way, we have Umbraco Tees Day today, and I can see that all of you are presenting it very, very well. We were attending Umbraco Spark, and it was already there. It was visible that the whole tension is in somewhere in there, and people are just more careful than usual. So yeah, all of the events. Umbraco Code Garden. I didn't share my screen yet, so. Code Garden is not going to take
I think.
Cool. We've lost Marcin. That was no. We've definitely lost Marcin. That's good. So Marcin was just talking about how we've kind of lost all of the events, or at least the stuff that was planned. So that is Code Garden, which has unfortunately been cancelled. We should probably say postponed, because it's postponed till next year. It's maybe a more positive way of looking at it.
Yes.
as well as the US festival, which was due to happen in a couple of weeks. That's also no longer happening. And now the US Roadshow, which I was due to start on next week, is also not happening. And UDUF and basically everything.
Yes.
It's the end of the year, it seems.
It's a strange time.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm back.
Yes,
sorry, my Chrome gave up when I tried to share my screen. I heard that you've mentioned all of the events which are taking place. Did you mention the Code Cabin statement that it's going to also be I know, watched out and investigated if it's taking place or not, right?
Yeah, it's still very much going ahead. That's still the intention, but they're going to review the situation. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a bit early to be calling events in, say, October time. And I as an organizer, I know how tough some of these decisions can be. But yeah, at least for the next few months, events probably aren't going to happen. I just seeing in the chat, and it happened just before we went live actually, that the Edinburgh meetup's cancelled. Last night, London trialed a half virtual meetup as well. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more virtual events happening.
Yeah, and if we are on this topic, I know if you mentioned the remote in general, Umbraco also stated how the company is going to reorganize their work and teams to work remotely. You mentioned the virtual meetups and stuff like that. And are we safe to announce that we are going to help in it, Callum? And we heard about the whole idea in Umbraco HQ with the bar. And Jesper, you can confirm how it looks from the normal approach. You have a ending day session in the HQ, which is focused around social aspects of the team building work, right?
So normally on Fridays, we just have an optional Friday bar, but a lot of people go to it. And then once a month, we have a special one where one team at HQ will plan something and have a theme, and we talk about wins and so on. But there's normally a lot of people every Friday. So yeah, everyone was of course devastated when HQ shut down, and we won't have our usual social opportunities. So yeah, they're trying to add some of that back with the virtual Friday bar.
Yeah, and we got talking to Arnold yesterday about how we can collaborate and bring some of the Umbraco positivity and energy back to this week, especially given that it's been pretty tough. So later today we are hosting at 3 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. Europe. We are hosting a virtual Umbraco Friday bar. HQ will be joining, but also I think basically it's not really planned. We're just going to open up the stream tool. Anyone that wants to come on can come and say a few words about their week. Spread some positivity, spread some Umbraco love, and we can just have a nice end to the week in a social way, community way.
Yes. So we will announce it. We will definitely tweet about it, and we will investigate how we can organize it to make everyone join us and stuff like that. That's cool. That's about our work. Let's move to work items, because it's not like no one is doing anything because of the Corona status, and it's even different because we were not mentioning anything of the announcements and packages last week because we were in Bristol and we were mostly focused around the conference itself. But it was a busy 2 weeks in the Umbraco community, but maybe let's start from the packages. As we have Jesper here, that would be a shame if we wouldn't focus on packages. Jesper, can you give us an update how's the work in the package team is going? Because we were of course discussing it in Bristol a lot, and maybe we can share more for the community how it works. What's the current output and what are the work items are you focusing on right now?
Yeah, so when I was asked to put together this team and start focusing on packaging and make packages awesome again, it was of course tough because I didn't know that much about it, and it's very different from the other two community teams we had at the time, the Docs team and the PR team, who were sort of managing a repository and answering issues and PRs and so on. We had to sort of just go out and do something new. It's almost half a year now since we started, and I think we've already done a lot of cool things, and we have so many more plans for the future. So yes, I would like to talk a bit about the package RFC. I don't know if people have seen it, but otherwise I think there'll be a link below the stream. Basically, we have created a request for comments on how the package system in Umbraco should change in the future. We are not really talking major versions, minor versions, whenever it will be implemented. Right now, it's all sort of on an idea basis. We had a short workshop where we sat down at HQ and talked about, so what does the package system do right now, and what would we like to improve in it. And based on that, we started this RFC. We ran it by the package team, of course, and now it's out there for people to comment on. It's actually already the most commented on RFC.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
very active. 42 comments, a lot of conversations, a lot of useful inputs, and because I wasn't following it on a daily basis, but I just checked that it has a lot of interesting inputs and ideas.
Yes,
so
and a lot of a lot of really good feedback as well. It's going to be very hard to try and narrow it down based on this. But so when we released this, we of course tweeted about it, tried to get it out there for people to see. And I think it was Matt Brailsford who responded to one of the tweets saying, this is really cool, but it would be nice if we had some sort of virtual discussion thing, like a meetup or something where people could come in and you know, just talk it through without having to post comments and wait for someone to respond or something. So we decided in the package team that we actually want to do this. It's going to be the first RFC that has like a virtual discussion attached to it. And it was very hard to try and find a time.
To sit all.
Yes, it seems like a lot of people were interested in doing it during work hours. We tried to put it sort of during lunch as well. So if the companies are not interested in you spending time on it, you might be able to do it during lunch. The idea is just you can sign up for this, come join us, just have a chat about what should packages do. Specific comments on the RFC are also welcome. We plan to record it and then post it on the actual RFC as well, so other people can see in the end. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's,
nice.
It's a first.
There's a link to sign up, which we'll make sure is below. But this is Wednesday, the Wednesday coming, right? Lunchtime Wednesday coming.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, but the next on our list is your roadmap. So maybe about the things which were worked on and done, because you said half a year. It's already a long time, and if I am still able to share my screen. This is your roadmap. So some of the things are already almost complete, and we know that you have a small demo to show us today.
Yes. So we wanted to make sure that people could follow along. We really had a focus on making everything open, and like the idea is not necessarily that only the package team should be working on package related things. We would like to see more involvement from everyone in the community. We've also talked about doing packathons. So packathons for packages could also be a cool thing. But yeah, so we started by working on documentation. Through all but one article, I think, of the ones that we had planned initially. And then the next thing we wanted to work on was a CLI package tool thing. And that's the one that I would like to demo here as well. It's, of course, open source, and you can jump in after seeing the demo. Not everything, the README is not completely up to date and so on. It's not released yet. But yeah, so the idea for this tool is something that you can run locally or in a pipeline to help you build and deploy package updates. I'm sure most package developers are aware that updating your packages is quite a big task right now. This is, of course, not NuGet packages, but the Umbraco set packages. So actually, this started with Warren and Nils from HQ, who wanted to make it easier somehow, and they made a small demo and proof of concept, and then the package team took it from there and have been working a bit more on it. So let me just share my screen here. Yes.
Add it to stream.
Sorry?
Can we see it? Yeah, we can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. So I have like an example site here where I have some new folder called custom package that has some of the normal package files you would find. It also has some DLL from a class library that I would like to include in the package, and some random file and app code. It's not too important what's in it, but so if you run the tool, it has sort of 3 commands. It has an init command that will help you build package XML, sort of similar to what you can do in npm packages and so on. And you can also specify where you want it to store this package XML. Sorry. So if we run it, it just basically takes you through the required steps. So package name, description, so on. I'll just click through all these easily. In the end, you confirm it. And then you can see that it actually added this package XML. Of course, this is not a valid one, or it is, but it doesn't really include anything. So the idea of the second command is then a pack command, where you can set some specific things. But you can point it to a folder. So you can see in this example, we pack it, we set a specific version we want, and it's the app plugins folder called custom package. For this to work, it needs to have a package XML file inside that folder. Otherwise, you can point it to a package XML file specifically instead. So if I run this one, it basically just takes it all, builds it. We can see here that it looks like a normal folder. I don't know what's happening with the naming. Yes. Otherwise, like I said, you can point it to a package XML file, because the issue with pointing to an app plugins folder is that you'll only get the files that are inside this app plugins folder. And I'm sure most package developers will want to include some, maybe a class library DLL or something instead. So you can create a package XML where you can manually add. We made some hacky extension thing to the files path where you can add a folder or a file. So you can see I have basically the same here, except I typed these in where I said, okay, look for the app plugins custom package folder, look for this DLL in the bin folder, and look for this this file in app code. If I then go back and it's pointed to this one, it's going to build it as well. And so in here, you'll see that the DLL is included, or the other ones. The new package XML looks like it would if you had created it from the back office. It takes those file and folder parameters we set and actually changes it. And we also made sure that if you have 2 files called the same, then they don't break because everything is in the root.
Nice.
Yes, and finally the push command. I'm not going to demo too much because it doesn't currently work. That's one of the few areas we're missing. Basically, we'll add an API in our, where this will then, you'll get probably an API key. It's still a bit up in the air how exactly it's going to work, but you'll get some sort of authentication on our that you can then add to this tool. In the demo so far, it's been an API key. And then you can push just with a push command. And you can set a few things like, do you want it to be the current version and override or set the previous version to not be current anymore? .NET version, what Umbraco versions it should work with, and so on.
This is the feature of the CLI that I'm most looking forward to, because it's something that's been so painful for so many years, actually automating the upload of a package to our, and yeah, that would be truly awesome to have.
Yeah, it's based on a lot of feedback from package developers. We did a small research round, I guess you could call it, back in December, where we invited 5 to 10 package developers to have a talk about this, and this was what everyone was excited about. So we figure, let's just make this, and we'll make it open source, of course. And if anyone has ideas for what we can improve, then they can raise issues or PRs or whatever. Alongside this, we'll of course also add some documentation on how you should use it. We also plan to add an example of how you could use it in a pipeline, and then we hope that others will help contribute with examples from other types of pipelines. So we'll maybe do a GitHub action one, and then someone can come in and help with Azure DevOps and TeamCity and all those other things.
Yeah, I was going to say that the automation freaks are going to be very, very happy using it. And thanks to having it open source, I think it will be also easier to, for example, extend it for any future formats, purposes, or even ideas coming out from RFC discussions and stuff like that. So looking good. I didn't see this repository, so I will definitely give it a try. And yeah, it looks like a great work which will help for all of the package creators and maybe future package creators as well.
So the idea is that it will be released just as a NuGet package, so anyone can just install it in pipelines or locally or whatever. I installed it locally with the .NET tool command thing. So yeah, we hope it's gonna help.
It definitely will. But even current developers and package developers are always asking a lot of questions about how to create Callum. You wrote a great articles for 24 days this last year to show up how it can be done.
And it's a very different approach with this one as well. So there's definitely still room for different ways. I think when we had that back in December, as Jesper mentioned, there's a lot of chat about how everyone's got a preferred way. People maybe don't want to deviate too much from it, but having some kind of standardization or at least documentation of that is good. And so this is a good step.
Great background in Callum's house. Cool. Let's maybe jump. We are on the package topics all the time, but we didn't highlight packages being created recently. And Jesper, I'm sure that you are monitoring it actively. So if it probably won't be nothing new for you here, but I've seen some really nice inputs here in the package section. And starting from the work from Radley Gilder and Anthony's team, some Umbraco tables enhancements, Umbraco dashboard when I saw as well, some new packages helping in dealing with different types of data and different purposes here. And one which I this is another one, palette picker, something which is really cool. I would love to see it when I started working on my recent project, because we are also picking the color palettes. Looks like a good extension of color picker for Umbraco users, and timeline package for building the visual timelines. Just somewhere in time, Callum, something what we might have used for Umbraco festivals project at some point. What else? Environment dashboard, that's the second one which I've mentioned already. So information about dashboards straight in the Umbraco back office. And what was new? Open key value, simple service for CRUD operation. I didn't see that in work yet. Maybe something to ask Anthony about. Editor manager, config editor manager. Really something powerful to edit configuration files straight from Umbraco back office. So another step towards people who are using Umbraco more from the environmental usages, right? Something like freaks who are doing everything from the browser directly, which is what is possible right now. Abstract contact number editor field for telephone numbers, and I wanted to share a big kudos for someone who built it, because I suffered a lot with validation for telephone numbers. And I'm really curious how it's done and what API services it's using, if so. And the last but not least is an inbound link editor, which was released recently, helping to track and redirect stuff for inbound links being gathered all together in a really nice way in Umbraco back office. I hope I didn't miss anything. Personally, I missed this new view here in the listing, but that's good. So latest packages as well, and yeah, so packages developers and creators are not wasting any second once again. Callum, you've been demoing a lot of your packages. Yeah,
I'm hoping I I'm hoping I can save with the time I'm saving with not traveling. I can finally get around to releasing some of the things I've been meaning to do for a long time.
Yeah, but you've been also demoing a lot of your recent work on those meetups, right? And I don't know if all of those packages are on our. Most of them are. All of them. Okay. Yep. So yeah, it's exciting times. So more packages are coming, and someone shared the tweet just confirming what you said, that this time at home might result in a lot of interesting outputs for the community. So that's about packages. And we also wanted to highlight some of the spotted things on the community in general, but maybe we can move it to the end, because there was one more interesting and very important topic, which is a security patch, which is coming out on March 17th. And the post was shared yesterday, yes. So information about affected versions, which is for all Umbraco versions, basically from 4.11.9. And the security patch will be released on March 17th. So right now it's a lot of time to prepare for it, right? And around resources to maybe apply it quickly.
Yeah.
And if I'm correct, also the definition of what's the problem will be shared on this date as well.
Yeah, I think a few people were saying yesterday they were trying to keep an eye on the dev v7 branch to see when the fix would come on there. But I think HQ are being smart enough to wait until the patch is released to actually push that.
Yeah, so the idea was that we would let people know to set off time for it, and then try to not let anyone know anything about what the security issue is, because then it's out there. It's not so good.
Yeah, and from another point of view, there was a product update which we didn't highlight last week. We just mentioned it, that we were expecting new version of Umbraco, and I didn't check, to be honest, if it was released, but it was 100% complete on at least an hour. Probably not officially announced or released as a package yet, but there was a lot of updates around the products, roadmap, cloud, and everything else, which is usually done as those bi-weekly updates from Umbraco directly. So we will link it out as well. And we also missed not that new hire, but hire in Umbraco HQ team. And Callum, you already mentioned Arnold, with who we were discussing the idea of virtual bar.
We even had him on umbraCoffee in his first week at HQ.
Yeah. So it was delayed blog post with some great shots straight from the HQ, and some stories about Arnold and his passions outside of work, which we will also link here. And about people, maybe we can relate to that. 3 more MVPs and their answers for questions raised by Owen, Nick Remington, Anthony Deng, and Steve Temple. All linked up in the description below. A lot of things once again, but there was also one more interesting event during the way, because we had National Women's Day, International Women's Day, and International Men Day. I don't know if it's international, but we were celebrating both ways in our organizations, our families, and thanks to that, we were also exposed to more interesting also work and also outputs of work from various groups of communities. And Callum, you've gathered some of the links. I don't know if I have it open.
Yeah, so I know Code Cabin posted a lovely picture, like celebrating all the awesome Umbraco women, which is great. And at the same time, the same day, the new Candid Contributions episode came out, which was awesome. Which was actually kind of half recorded at Spark. So there was John Skeet was on there. There was like a whole bunch of people from the event. But that also came out on a Tuesday or Monday, whenever it was, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah. And I saw the tweets from Warren, probably started by Warren, who said "I love Neos" at the end of the recording, and I must admit that I spent some time also investigating this issue. So great episode, and I finally found time to catch up on all the episodes from Candid Contributions, and big kudos to our community girls who are organizing it and recording it, and I saw a lot of energy spark and people being involved in. So yeah, big kudos for that. And what else? Bandit control seeing how the thanks to Carol who shared the back end of it. I must check this tool and what it to record podcast maybe video. And yeah, Callum, did I miss anything else? Cheese. There is a cheese.
Cheese. It's Umbraco Tees Day, but we had Umbraco Cheese Day earlier in the week as well, didn't we? Seriously, a bunch of cheese started showing up at people's houses. And it transpired that I think when people applied to be part of the documentation curator intern position, you were asked what's your favorite cheese or something, and then they sent the cheese to people, which is cool and unexpected. I don't know how I'd feel about receiving cheese in the mail. Is it good?
Probably better than receiving fish by mail or anything else like that. But still, someone raised the question: if you were to choose the favorite cheese, or what the cheese with which you are relating Umbraco with, what cheese it would be? It's interesting. Once again, we were surprised by the unusual way of saying thanks or sharing the community spirit. And yeah, that's probably good to also wrap it up with this positive packages messages. And today, one more thing, because today we have this Umbraco Tees Day. And I don't know if it's not the most active Umbraco Tees Day, to be honest. For
definitely
years.
the most active.
Yes.
There's been so many awesome pictures this morning.
Probably people stayed at home and they are close to the closet to pick the Umbraco T-shirt with, and that's created a great output. I want to just open a tweet deck and scan through some of those. But Jesper, in Umbraco HQ, you were celebrating Umbraco Tees Days from where it started, and I saw even today the comma meeting probably or stand up, and all of the people were wearing Umbraco T-shirts. Is it by default, or it's just every Friday, or you have just too many Umbraco T-shirts to not wear them all every day?
I mean, we have a lot of we all have a lot of Umbraco T-shirts. I think most people could wear one every day of the week if they wanted. But we also focused on really celebrating it this time because everyone is far apart now. We're not all in the office, so it's sort of a good way to do something together.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of people from various parts of the world, and as I've said, it's a most active Umbraco Tees Day probably for at all in general, and it's great to see people being active and being and some of the legacy, not hard to say legacy, vintage or original T-shirts. I've seen Tim who shared the T-shirt and picture of the first 15. First 15 Umbraco certified developers, and a lot of other T-shirts from across the globe and across all of the events. It's where organizers are really happy to see the events T-shirts. Callum, you are wearing great T-shirts from Umbraco Leeds.
Brand new one from Umbraco Leeds from yesterday.
Yeah, it was. And Jesper, which one you are wearing today? Really
so
dark.
I'm actually wearing the hoodie, and then underneath it, I'm wearing the same T-shirt that also has the heart.
Two layers.
Yes.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, that's great. We'll share the link to the tweet on Twitter, and it's still not end of the day. So you people are still able to contribute to Umbraco Tees Day and share your attitude and maybe environment in which you are working today due to all the circumstances around the world. And yeah, we will of course
take another look later at the Friday bar.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Anyone that wants to come on and just say hello, please send us a message or something, and we'll get you on, and we can all have a nice end of week chat. Super informal, nothing planned, but yeah, that'll be 3 o'clock/4 o'clock in Europe.
Yeah, cool. So thanks Jesper for joining us and sharing the whole status of the work being done by Package Team, and just keep it coming and keep it up. And probably and hopefully you will join us for the bar session as well today. And thanks everyone for watching us, and we will see each other as usual next Friday. See you later then, and have a great rest of the day. Thanks, guys.